Hey, beautiful ladies, happy Monday. I hope your day is going okay. I wanted to come on here because there's a real common theme amongst conversations that I'm having with ladies just in general around domestic abuse, and it's really that a lot of us tend to feel like it's our fault, like we've done something wrong, we've said something wrong. If we hadn't have done something, then it wouldn't have happened, and feeling that somehow we deserved what happened to us, or we deserve even what happened to us, and that's sometimes reflective of other relationships as well, you know, whether that's friends, you know, work colleagues, anyone else. We just tend to feel that that is our worth, and I just want to come on and say it really isn't. Like, think of who you were before the abusive relationship. Like, what was your identity? What did you enjoy doing? What were you known for? You know, were you perhaps, you know, I don't know, smiley? Were you really sporty? You know, were you sort of a real socialite, high colour? And I think for a lot of us, it's so hard to remember who we were because we lose ourselves so much. Our sense of self, sense of identity is often just gone completely, and it's even hard just to even start to remember like the person that we were, or what we enjoyed doing, and what brought us joy in our life, and what brought us sort of a smile to our face. But I think that healing journey for me really started with remembering who the F I was. And, you know, won't swear, but genuinely kind of before my abusive marriage, I was so smiley. I was known for my smile. You know, people always complimented me on my smile and how happy I was. And it was lovely to see such a happy, bubbly, positive person, which is genuinely who I am. You know, none of that was ever fake. That was who I am. That was what I felt in that moment. And that is the person that I'm slowly regaining now. But when I first left my abusive marriage, I'll be honest, I felt like my soul had been destroyed, and that's the only way I can describe it, really. I think for those of us that have been through that emotional abuse, it's really hard to explain to someone else what that was and how it impacted on us. And again, speaking to a few different ladies, you know, within this group and also outside the group that have been through that emotional abuse, it's literally soul destroying, as is any form of abuse. Don't get me wrong, it's literally soul destroying. You know, it's very cruel for the individual, and that's putting it really mildly. I don't have any words to describe it without swearing about the impact it has on the victim and the perpetrator, and, you know, them as a person are just pure evil, to be honest with you, pure evil. But I really wanted to come on here just to provide those of you that are questioning yourself, that are wondering, this is all I'm worthy of, this is all I deserve, and I deserve this because of X, Y, and Z. And often that reasoning isn't something we've planted within our own mindset. It's often something that either small, continuous, consistent acts from the perpetrator have made us think, or it's often just one big act that's made us think, this is my life now, this is my normal, this is what I deserve, and this is all I'm worthy of. And genuinely, it is really not. And I think on my own personal healing journey, once I started to really step into myself again, you know, i.e. to think, who was I before this relationship? And again, to think about sort of, you know, your personality, you know, the emotions you felt, the kind of the kindness and the care even you brought to the world. You know, a lot of us that are in abusive relationships are real empaths. And sadly, sometimes that can keep us in that relationship because we want to fix the person, we want to make them better. We've often seen a kinder, nicer side to them that we want to see again. So we're kind of hanging in there, waiting for that Prince Charming to come back. But sadly, they never return. They never ever return. Abusers will never change, and that's my own personal opinion. I know some people say, well, people can change and everything else, and my own personal opinion is I spent years in a marriage with an abuser waiting for him to change, trying to fix him, trying to get him to understand that what he did was wrong and it hurt me and this is how it made me feel. And did he get it? And he'd say, yes, of course I do, I'm so sorry, I won't do it again. But the pattern repeated and repeated. And it was exactly the same when I was in a physically abusive relationship. There was always a lot of sorry said, a lot of remorse for the actions, but in essence, the cycle just repeated again. I was explaining how I felt. they were going, oh, I'm so sorry, I know I shouldn't do it, I know it's not right, I can't understand, I just get this red mist come over me. And me at the time, being a real empath, was like, it's okay, it's fine, we're in this together, we'll fix it, we'll sort it out. And that was the fixer in me, the kind of the person that was like, we'll sort it. You know, there was obviously an element of love there, as there is in all relationships, you know, whether the person is respectful or not. Often we've got that love attachment, which often is a trauma bond in essence, which keeps us hanging in there, keeps us hoping for better. But please ladies, just know that anything and everything that's happened to you is not a reflection of you. It's not a reflection of anything you deserve. It's not a reflection of anything you did wrong, and it's certainly not a reflection of what you need to expect from life to come. Now is the time to start setting those boundaries. And again, appreciate it's really hard, and what I'll be doing over the next few months is doing the online masterclasses to give you the tools to do that effectively. And for those of you that don't know, next month's masterclass will be around communication. So how to communicate with these abusers effectively, what to say, what not to say, when to engage, when not to engage, and giving you a couple tools that will really help you do that and alleviate the stress and the overwhelm and the anxiety that comes up within ourselves when we do that. So that'll be December's masterclass, and then I will do a topic each month thereafter to basically build your toolkit in essence. Firstly, for you, the priority is you, absolutely. We want to heal you, we want to put you on the journey towards leading a more positive, fulfilling life, to start loving yourself again. Genuinely, that's where it all starts, is loving yourself again, feeling confident and happy with who you are, and knowing what you deserve, and knowing that you do not ever deserve anything of what's happened to you, whether that's from your abusive ex-partner, whether that's from a colleague, whether it's from a friend, whether it's from a family member. Sometimes any disrespectful behaviour towards you is not tolerated. We shouldn't tolerate it, and it is okay to set boundaries. It feels really uncomfortable setting boundaries, I must admit. You know, recently with myself, I've set a boundary with a family member, and I've taken a step back, and it's been really uncomfortable. It's felt like, oh, this is really wrong, I should be more caring, I should be loving. But actually, it's helped my mental health in essence, because every time I had contact with them frequently, it really drained my energy. It really made me feel quite crap, to be honest with you. And I think when you're put in those situations and you're almost forcing yourself into those situations, you're again not respecting yourself. You're not validating how you spend your time. You're not actually going, I deserve better than this. And the more comfortable you get with putting boundaries in place, the better life you will lead, and the more peaceful life you will lead. And it's easier to start that journey towards the life you want to lead when you are able to put those boundaries in place. Otherwise, you're constantly bombarded with different things from different people, different aspects. You know, it can be something really simple, like from children, or from, I don't know, from your work colleague who's constantly sending you emails kind of outside of hours, and you're like, oh, I've got to reply, and you're trying to keep on top of it. Whereas actually you don't need to. Kind of just politely say, sorry, I didn't reply to your email. You know, I was watching TV last night, finished work at 5 as expected. I'll catch up with you as soon as I can. And I think just doing things like that, and I appreciate, you know, that's a really simple example, don't get me wrong, but just saying to someone, actually, I'm not going to engage now, I'm not going to waste my energy, my time on this at the current time. And yes, sometimes with abusers, you know, it's easy to want to kind of respond straight away because we want to put things right. You know, often they are very manipulative, often they will lie, and that antagonizes us. It raises feelings of anxiety, you know, overwhelm, sometimes sadness, you know, hurt, and sometimes anger as well, because we're like, well, hang on a minute, I never said that, I never did that. And you know, it's easy just to kind of go, or type, or, you know, text back quickly just to kind of almost get that off your chest. But it's where it's really important, and I will talk about this in next month's masterclass, don't get me wrong, and I appreciate I've gone off on a little bit of a tangent here, but it's really important for all us ladies that we know when firstly it's safe to put boundaries in place. That's the priority, when it's safe for us or safe for those around us to put those boundaries in place effectively. how to put those boundaries in place, secondly. And then when we feel in a position to perhaps respond, if there's a response needed, how to do that, when to do that, or if there's no response needed, just to almost be at peace with ourselves that we're going to use our energy elsewhere. We're not going to spend our time today responding to perhaps an antagonizing message or an email or whatever it might be, that often our ex-partners will try and sort of, you know, tap away at us still, even though we may have left the relationship. Just to know how to use your time to suit you, in essence, because at the end of the day, the priority is you. So I just wanted to come on and just share that. I will tomorrow be sharing the date for the communication masterclass, which, as I said, will be next month, all online again, like the self-esteem one that Emma and I did a couple of weeks ago. So hopefully as many of you lovely ladies as possible can join us with that. I will be doing it in the evening because I appreciate people may be at work or busy during the day, so hopefully that is a bit more convenient for most of you. That seems to be kind of the general vibe I'm getting just in terms of people's availability, so I will be doing it during an evening session. As I said, I'll release the date for you tomorrow, and then what I will do in the next week is just let you know what that session is going to be about, just to give you a little bit more detail. And if anyone wants to kind of say, can I talk about something in particular, if there's a particular issue that keeps coming up for you, or if you want some support or advice around something in particular, whether that's sort of how to respond or what to respond, then please just let me know and I can tailor the masterclass around what suits you lovely ladies best, okay? Anyway, I hope you're all having a lovely day. I think it's only about, no, coming on 4:30. It feels, I hate when it gets dark early because it feels like it's kind of nearly bedtime, doesn't it? Or is that just me? Anyway, I hope you're all okay, and I will catch up with you again soon. Have a lovely evening, all of you. Bye.